Very hard to. Fuck it. The power to. What is it? The power to. Fuck. Conditions basically. Horses for courses. Should be very hard to. Fuck it. So there's an IBR on the Sea-Doos, which is the intelligent. What the fuck does it stand? Intelligent brake reverse. Ching ching. Okay guys, let's get into these frequently asked questions that I come across on my YouTube channel on a day-to-day basis. These are sort of the main ones and a couple of fun ones that I've come across on Google. So, the first one is, will I fall off the jet ski? And that all comes back down to the driver. It's all about how hard you ride the ski, whether you'll fall off or not, based on the conditions as well. So for example, personally, probably only fallen off maybe 5 or 6 times in the 4 years I've had it. But like I said, all comes back to how hard you ride, how hard you want to try and do spins, how high you want to jump. And if you generally take it easy and have good control of the ski, no, you won't fall off if you don't want to. All comes back to personal choice. If you want to fall off and really push the boundaries, yeah, you'll probably fall off. Next question that sort of ties in with that one is, do I need to know how to swim to ride a jet ski? Once again, if you're not going to fall off, technically no. It's going to make your ride a whole lot more comfortable if you're comfortable swimming, because then you're not going to be worried about falling in the entire time. And saying that though, you should probably have a life jacket on, because it's going to be a lot more comfortable and it possibly could save your life. So make sure you wear a life jacket, and as long as you're comfortable floating in the water in a life jacket and you can pull yourself back up on a ski, no, technically you don't need to be able to swim to ride a jet ski. Next question is the third part to that one as well. Is a lot of people ask, will it hurt when I fall off a jet ski? And it all comes down to the conditions, the speed and everything once again. But if you're just doing donuts and you fall in, no, it's not going to hurt. It's probably going to be a lot of fun actually. However, if you're flying along at 80 to 100 kilometers an hour and you hit a bit of wake and then you tumble off and slide across like this, then yes, it's going to hurt like hell. It's going to be like skimming across concrete. So it's all horses for courses. All comes down to the conditions and how fast you're basically going. And obviously if you hit something, that's going to be a lot worse. That's going to hurt like hell. Is there a lot of maintenance with owning and riding a jet ski? So I'm going to say no. For me with the Sea-Doo Spark personally, we've had very little maintenance issues. I think in the 4 years we've only had 1 or 2 services, which is probably bad. We're due for another one, but as long as you rinse them out cleanly with fresh water after you've been in the salt, hose them off and look after them, get the regular service, make sure you've got your oil and your fluids topped up. We've had no issues, so I'm going to say no. Maintenance is not an issue, and we've had 0 issues so far. I've probably just jinxed myself, but for us, no. Jet ski and maintenance, piece of puss. Next question comes from Google, and it's kind of a funny one. It's, will a shark get me on a jet ski? So I had a quick Google and look on YouTube to see if I could find any footage to put on this video of someone being attacked on a jet ski by a shark, and I couldn't find one. So therefore the answer is probably no. Sharks, unless you've got food or blood or fishing from your ski, they're probably not interested in chasing your ski. So I wouldn't worry about that. That's the least of your worries. Worry about humans. They're probably going to be more harmful to you on a ski in a busy period. And the next question is the one that I get asked the most. What is fast for a jet ski? What speed is fast? So personally with my Sea-Doo Spark, 80 kilometers is top speed. And if it's a perfect day and it's like a milk pond and looks like this, where it's like all glassy, then 80 kilometers doesn't feel scary fast. It feels fast, but it's not scary fast. Or if we're out, say, in rough conditions and we're trying to go, say, 55, 60, that feels faster than the 80 does on a perfect day. What scary fast is when you're hitting that 100, 120, up to 130 kilometers on water. Because as you can see in this video here, if you fall off, it's all over red rotor. So stick to the conditions. It's more about the conditions than the actual speed. Guys, and the next question that comes up quite a lot is, Are Sea-Doo Sparks absolutely shit, or are they just for girls? And the answer is no, they're not shit, they're absolutely fantastic. I love mine to pieces. Got a great review on it if you want to check that out. But no, love the Sea-Doo Spark, and no, I hope they're not for girls because they've got a great power to weight ratio, so they have great acceleration off the mark. The only thing that holds them back is the top speed is 80 kilometers. But as I said, unless you're in perfect conditions, I don't find that we go 80 very often anyway. What should I wear on a jet ski? So that one does come up quite regularly as well. And the answer is that it's based on the conditions. So if you're going riding in winter, I generally wear a hoodie with the life jacket over the top. I've got gloves. If it's really cold, I might even wear them. Sometimes even if it's boiling hot, I'll wear them just so my hands don't get burnt, because you get burnt. But make sure if you're in summer, lather up with suntan lotion, because the sun reflects off the water and absolutely smashes you. So it's all about the conditions. Dress for the conditions so you are safe and warm, because there's nothing worse than being out there in some cooler conditions, getting wet and then being absolutely freezing and ruining your day. Likewise, if you're in summer and you don't dress correctly and you get absolutely sunburnt, it's not going to ruin your day, it's going to ruin the next week. So dress for the conditions. You're better to look ridiculous than look like a lobster for the rest of the month. Are jet skis hard to ride? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say they're pretty easy to ride, because you've only got to worry about one trigger and it's all in your finger. So it's pretty simple once you get the hang of it. It's all about confidence. If you're a bit timid and squeeze and stop squeezing, you are going to bunny hop through the water, and that's when you get the chance to crash, because the whole key to jet skiing and riding a jet ski is being consistent with the throttle, because that's what gives you the power to turn. Without the throttle, you can do this and you're not going to turn. It's as simple as that. So it's all about confidence, but for me, no. The answer is no. It's pretty easy. Okay, do jet skis have brakes? The Sea-Doos do have an IBR, which stands for Intelligent Brake Reverse. However, not all of them have it. So personally, my Sea-Doo Spark doesn't have the IBR because it's too cheap to pay for it. Didn't want to fork out some of these bad boys. But I've found over the past 4 years that there's very little need for me personally. Some people do have a need for it, but I've had no need for the brake or the reverse function itself. But coming back to the question was, do jet skis have brakes? And yes, you can get a brake on them. But just drive carefully and spin the wheel. It'll stop you on the spot. You really don't need it. How deep does the water need to be to run a jet ski? So very little is the answer. They say 2 feet, or for me, I always just try and get up to my knee deep before I'll start. But how jet skis work, for those who don't know, it sucks the water up through the bottom of the ski and then pumps it out the back to push you forward. So you need that depth of water, because if it sucks up rocks, sand, or any other debris, that's when you're going to break the ski. So the deeper the better, but yeah, roughly 2 feet or knee deep will be enough. So I've been in shallow water. Gets a little bit scary because you don't want to hit and go over the handlebars either. But 2 feet, just to be safe, 2 feet or knee deep, and you'll be good to go. Are jet skis dangerous? That's a good question. But I'm going to say no. I'm going to say people are dangerous. It's the people that are using them that don't know what they're doing. That's when they become missiles in the water. So, for example, if someone that has no experience jumps on a supercharged ski that has tons and tons of power and can reach 130 kilometers an hour, that's dangerous. But it's more the driver, because if there's someone who's an expert driver driving that same ski, you probably got nothing to worry about. So keep clear of people who don't know what they're doing, and you should be fine. What happens if I flip my jet ski? So you'll want to go to the back of the ski, and on the ski there'll be a label of which way to turn it, whether you turn it left or right to flip it back over. And then basically you should be good to go. Like, the skis are prepared to be flipped and tossed around. It's obviously not ideal, but you shouldn't have too many issues if your ski does flip. Just make sure you flip it back the right way so the water doesn't get inside the valve and ruin your motor. And finally, guys, are jet skis fun? Are they worth the money? 100% yes. Yes, they are. I love every minute out in the water. It gives you a sense of freedom. You get to explore places you never would on a boat, or if you didn't have a ski. And just gets you away from real life for an hour, 2 or 3 on the weekend, even midweek if you're lucky enough. And you can see some incredible sights If you're lucky enough, you might see whales, dolphins, turtles, some amazing beaches or caves. So yes, they are 100% fun and worth the money. So that wraps up part 1 of the FAQs around jet skiing. If you've got any other questions you'd like me to answer, drop them down in the comments below, and I'll chuck them into part 2 of jet ski FAQs, because I'm sure there's a lot more questions out there that need to be answered. Those ones over the last 3 months though, since I started pumping out the Jet Ski Beginner's Guide, have been the most popular questions that I get answered. So I thought rather than just typing back, I'd put it all in one video for you guys, and hopefully it's answered those questions. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button right somewhere around there to be my pretty picture, and down there I'll pop down the Beginner's Guide to Jet Skiing so you can catch up with all the past videos. Cool, thanks for watching. I'm out, we'll see you next Monday.